Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my latest purchase from Amazon. This is the 2-in-1 smart wireless GPS dog fence containment from the company MyPetCommand. So the reason they say it's 2-in-1 is you've got two different options with this. You can use the remote control it comes with and the collar, and you can basically press the buttons on the remote to do dog training with your dog. The other thing you can do is you can build a wireless fence with Google Earth and their free MyPetCommand app, and you can contain your dog totally wirelessly using GPS satellites and the collar. Now, what I'm showing you here is a 2-collar unit. You do not have to buy a 2-collar unit. If you buy the single collar unit, you're going to get everything you see here minus the extra collar and the extra set of prongs. So if you buy the 2 set, you'll get 2 collars, 2 sets of prongs. If you're buying the single set, you're going to have a black strap collar. If you buy the 2 set, you will get the orange collar. You can control multiple collars with the single remote control. I will show you how easy it is to pair collars to the remote. When you get it in, the collars will automatically be paired to your remote control. So let's look at everything it comes with, and then we'll do a demonstration. We'll actually go build a fence, and I'll show you how it works. You get a lanyard, you get a dog whistle. These plastic stakes are basically so you can put a visual out there to see where your fence is. Now, first, let me say this is not designed for small yards. This is actually designed more for people who have large properties or farms. The minimum size you would want to have is about 3/4 of an acre or larger. You get the remote control. Let me say the remote control is awesome. It's so light you wouldn't even think there's a battery in it, but it has a rechargeable battery, and I like the fact that it has physical buttons, easy to turn on, easy to turn off, and has a nice AMOLED display. You get a USB dual Type-C charging cable. You can use this one cable to charge both your remote and your collar, or you could charge 2 collars at once if you have the multiple collars. Again, you get a set of prongs. You will pick the prongs based on the size of your dog. You get a receiver collar, and then you get an instruction manual. It is a nice color instruction manual, really easy to follow. So that's everything it comes with. Let's get on the MyPetCommand free app, and I'll show you how you can build a fence. Again, we're going to be using the MyPetCommand app. It is a totally free app from the company that makes the collar. It's really simple. You're going to basically go outside, make sure you have a clear view of the sky, turn on your collar, and simply open up the app. Now, when you open it, you're going to get an important notice about Bluetooth connection. The collar has to be within range of your cell phone in order for you to create your fence. You're only going to be using the app to create your fence and test your fence. After that, the collar will do it all on its own as far as the training of the dog. You don't have to really use the app again unless you need to redo your fence or adjust settings on your collar. I'm going to simply click OK. You'll notice I have one collar added. It says Dog 1. You can name your collar whatever you want. I'm simply going to click on Connect, and it is going to find that collar and connect to it. You can see we've got my collar. Down at the bottom it says there's no fence parameters. I haven't built a fence. Once you build a fence and you save it, it will remember your fence. And then you won't have to rebuild it every time. The only time you would have to rebuild it is if you're going to a different location or you just want to rebuild your fence. I'm going to simply click on Add to build a new fence. It's going to open up Google Earth, and it's going to show me my current location. I can move around anywhere I want to. I'm going to try and find a good example. When you're building your fence, you want to keep 5 to 7 meters away from any kind of building as well as roads, because you have a little bit of variance with GPS satellites. So let me see if I can find a good place where we could build a map. This looks pretty good. Again, this is designed for larger properties, so you don't want to be doing it in a small area. The minimum fence size that you can build is a 1/2 acre. You've got 2 different options when you build your fence. You can do a 6-sided fence, or you can do a round fence. If you do a round fence, it's going to look just like this. You can use the slide bar at the bottom to adjust your fence size, or you can move around on the map as well and do it. If you do a 6-sided fence, you are going to pick 6 different points to make whatever shape you want to. Where I mentioned variance is if we wanted the fence to end before this road here, we would want to go just before the road. We wouldn't want to go all the way to it because we'd want to allow for some variance. There's my fence. If I wanted to reset it and start over, I could simply click the reset button at the bottom. You can have structures inside of your fence, but again, you would want your fence parameter to be outside of a structure. So we could do something like that if we wanted to, and it would be perfectly fine. Your dog can go in and out of structures. That's not a problem. It's just when they go back outside, it can take a minute or two for the satellites to reconnect for your dog fence. The satellites will not connect if your dog is inside of a building. Once you've got your fence set the way you want, you can simply click finish. And now you can see that we have our fence inside of the app. I can simply toggle it on or off if I'm wanting to use the fence. I can click on the edit button down at the bottom if I need to change the fence or delete the fence. You'll also notice the little gear icon up at the top right. That's where I can go and I can choose what happens with regards to the training mode for the dog. For example, do we just use beep and vibration, or do we use beep, vibration, and a static correction? You can also turn off the training mode. At the very bottom, you can also see your collar information, as well as other information. For example, do you want your measurements in feet, meters, the theme of your collar, do you want light or dark, so on and so forth. Really easy to build a fence. Let the dog collar train your dog for you. No wires, no cables, totally wireless. All right, so that was a look at creating a dog fence. Again, works great as a GPS dog fence, or you can use it as a trainer. If you want to use it as a trainer, it's pretty simple. Just make sure you have training mode turned on in the app. We're simply going to turn on the remote, and then you have some different settings here. You can actually adjust this. If you want to do a beep, simply beep the collar. You can vibrate. You can do static correction. You can also adjust the levels of each of these. If you want to change it, you simply push the button up top, and that takes you into your settings, and then you can adjust it to whatever you want to. So I'm going to just change the beep level, and you can see it's different. Same thing with vibration. You can adjust your vibration level. You can adjust your static correction level. So the last thing I wanted to do is show you how easy it is to pair a collar to the remote. Again, when you buy these, they should come automatically paired, whether you're buying one collar or two, but if they're not, it's really simple. So let's go ahead, we're gonna switch the remote to on to turn it on, and then you need to choose, are you pairing it to dog number 1 or dog number 2? In this example, I'm gonna pair this second collar to dog number 2, so I've switched it to 2. Now we're gonna turn on our collar. When you look at the collar, you have 3 different buttons. You have a power button on the right, you have a settings button in the middle, and then you have a GPS and left arrow button on the left. I'm going to simply press and hold the power button. That's the button on the right-hand side. That will turn on the collar. If you press and hold the middle button, the settings button, that will take you into settings mode. Once we're in settings mode, we're going to use the arrow button and we're going to move over to dog train collar pairing. I'm going to again press the middle button. That middle settings button kind of acts like your select. I'm in now pairing. It says press enter to begin pairing. I'm going to press the settings button. Now, again, with my given dog chosen, I'm going to press the beep and the vibrate button on the remote at the same time. And I've successfully paired the collar. I'm going to press and hold the settings button to get out of settings. Press and hold it again to go back to the main screen. And the last thing we need to do is simply test to make sure that it's paired. And you can see it's making a beep, making the vibration. Really easy to add a second collar if you need to down the road, or if you need to repair your first collar. As always, I hope the video helped. This has been a look at the 2-in-1 smart wireless GPS dog fence.